Coffee Tuesday, where the Abby says boo, where the coffee is always hot, and so are the tips. So you guys know the deal. When you get here, make sure that you say hello and check in. Good morning. Beautiful day, bit breezy, but beautiful nonetheless. So today we're talking about personal branding. Hi, Kelly Hull Photography. Thanks for tuning in this morning. So we're talking about personal branding today. And I thought that this would be a fun topic because a lot of times we focus on businesses and how things would work in larger businesses, smaller businesses, but it's more about, we kind of been focused more on businesses and getting your business name out there. So I thought that I'd switch it up a little bit and talk about personal branding, which can also be applied to the business aspect, where, I mean, you have great CEOs that are pretty predominant on social media. I mean, Richard Branson, there you go, to name one. So, you know, there is a personal brand that you can add to your business model. Good morning, Red Chamber. Thanks for tuning in. So you can add a personal brand or create this personal brand, which would bring kind of a little something to your business. Or maybe you are trying to go out on your own in an entrepreneurial type of way and create something that, I don't know why Facebook just got so dark, but all right. So personal branding, we're gonna jump into it. 3 steps on how to get it done. So what is personal branding? Well, personal branding is the reputation that you have digitally, in person, whatever it may be. So this is actually kind of a touch to personal branding because Michelle and I will come on here and we'll give you tips and tricks about how to navigate your digital marketing, but you're also able to connect with us. And this is a point that I have brought up a multitude of times about how marketing these days are all about the connections. You know, you're not just selling. It's not just, here's my message. People, as I've used before, connect with the runner that's wearing the Nike shirt, the Nike shoes. They don't connect with that check mark anymore. Meanwhile, you know, 5-10 years ago, you could just have a check mark with just do it. And people were like, yeah, absolutely. I want to get on the Nike train. So you want to add that personal touch, that personal connection, which is really going to help you within your business, as well as whatever other ventures you're going off on. Maybe it's a speaking event, maybe you want to write a book, or you're creating you know, a YouTube channel. So you're creating this personal brand, and that's what we're going to talk about today. So you're wanting to connect with these people and do it in a way that is broad stream, which is really more or less easiest to do on social media. So we come on here every Tuesday and you guys will listen to what I have to say, but you're also connecting with me with, you know, the fact that I love to drink coffee, and that's why it's Coffee Talk Tuesday, or the fact that I talk with my hands a lot. So you're getting to know me while also understanding what it is the knowledge that I'm giving to you. So there's 3 steps in defining your personal brand and how you're going to get it out there. So the first one is you want to define your message. And what does that mean? Well, we talk a lot about your remarkable difference when it comes to business, but it's also the same with your personal brand. What is the problem that you're going to solve? How do you solve it in a unique way? And how are you going to get that across? But that's step 2. So So the first one is defining your message. And that's probably the most difficult thing for people to understand is, a lot of people are like, well, I can do this and I can do that. And I have all these talents, which are really, really great. But before you become a jack of all trades, you really want to hone in on one specific thing that you're passionate about, that drives you, that fuels you. And that's really what's going to push you along the way. So Kelly said, I'm wanting to add more personal details about my life on Instagram and Facebook, but don't want to include my children or much home like a home life, as I'd like to keep that private. Any ideas? Yeah, there's some really great ideas that I have. If you're wanting to add personal touch, but keep your most intimate part of your personal life out of it, I mean, talk about hobbies that you have. Do you have a yoga or Pilates class that you love to do? Do you love to go running? Do you like to basket weave? Whatever these hobbies that you have, or pastimes, favorite books that you like to read, incorporate that, things that are on a personal level with you, Kelly, but don't necessarily become intrusive in your life where people are, I had one woman say, well, I love to garden, but I don't want to take a picture of my home because then people will know where I live, which is understandable. You may not want to put that all the way out there, but, if you love to garden, then take an up close picture of a plant, or, you digging into the soil. So I would just kind of make a list of things that you enjoy. Maybe it's a favorite restaurant, favorite type of food, cooking, whatever it is that you enjoy as your pastime or in your free time, if you have any. Good for you if you do. And I would just focus in on those. So there you go, Kelly. Okay, so personal branding. So what problem do you solve? And what are you passionate about? What drives you? And what is unique to your way of doing it as opposed to everyone else's way of doing it? So for instance, if you're writing a book about cooking because you are passionate about cooking, what makes you different from Rachel Ray, right? So define your message, figure out what problem you're solving, what makes you unique, and then you're going to figure out how to make that problem almost bigger than what it is, which may seem a little funny, but I'll get to why you're going to do that. So you're going to kind of make some noise about this problem. So if, for instance, my digital marketing company, I'm going to kind of exasperate how exhausting and time consuming social media is, and digital marketing, and staying up to date with things. And I'm kind of going to remind people of this problem and this nagging of that social media can be sometimes. And then I'm going to position myself as the solution. So I may, in my email that I send out, say, are you striving for a personal brand, don't know where to start, and really kind of touch base with people on those hurt levels of what exhausts them, and then position yourself as the solution. So first you're going to define your message and the problem that you're going to solve. Then you're going to make a little noise about that problem, and then you're going to position yourself as the solution as to why they should sign up for your class, read your book, subscribe to your YouTube channel, whatever it may be. And then you're going to show through different types of outlets how you're knowledgeable on the fact. You want to show them that you're educated. I tell people all the time I got a degree in marketing, so makes me kind of qualified, I guess, to run this. And then just show through experience and knowledge base. You guys come on here every Tuesday, and you see that Michelle and I kind of sort of know what we're talking about when it comes to what's going on in the world of digital marketing. And then, we have proven results on our website. We have some really great reviews. We have great people who spread the word of mouth for us. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. So that's the first step, is you're defining your message, making some noise about that problem you're solving, and then positioning yourself as a solution through your knowledge base, your experience, and any type of educational tips you got. So the second one is also going to sound a little familiar from our business models, is you're going to pick your media outlet. So once again, you can't be everywhere all the time to everyone. So you have to define your target market and make sure that your target market is actually your target market. A lot of times we will sit down with clients and they're like, oh, well, I think this is my target market. And then after a little bit of market research, we find out that actually the people that you want to target don't really have an interest in your product, service, brand, but this group does. So make sure that when you're picking this target market, you are doing a little bit of due diligence and a little bit of homework so you can make sure that you're actually targeting the right people. And then find where they live on social media, which is something we've talked about quite a few times. Each platform, the plethora that they are, have their own kind of individual nature to them. So make sure that when you are gearing up your personal brand, that you are putting it out on these different media platforms that are geared towards your message, your brand, and your target market. And then finally, the third one, which is going to be a little funny for people, figure out how you're going to monetize your brand. And this gets a little tricky because people say, well, I just want to make money however I can, however possible. If I have to sell t-shirts, I'll sell t-shirts. If I have to write a book, I'll write a book. If I have to run classes, I'll run classes. And that's not necessarily the way to go. So as I've kind of said, hone in to what it is that you want to do, that you want to be known for, that you want that reputation for being the best at, and strive to fuel that. So maybe you are, a meme profile or something because you want to be a comedian or you're funny and you want to make t-shirts with phrases on it. That's great. And then does that mean that you should also run a class on how to make memes and be a comedian? It's probably not on brand, and it's probably not going to be the driving force of your sales. So you have to figure out how exactly you want to monetize things. What business do you want to be in? Do you want to be in public speaking? Do you want to be an author? Do you want to be, a lifestyle coach? So it's really honing in on the business that you want to be in, obviously making those smart goals for how you're going to monetize and make that money, and making sure that you stay within your passion. You want to make sure that you stay within what's driving you, what's fueling you to do this, to have this personal brand, what your skill set is, what your experience is, and also what the market needs, what your target market needs, which goes back to that first step of identifying the problem and putting yourself as the solution. And the final thing that I want to touch on, the monetize, is try not to get caught up in the hype, which means there are going to be times where all of a sudden everybody's selling t-shirts and all of a sudden everybody's running a class and then everybody's running a seminar. But if it's not on brand and it's not part of your message and what you're doing, don't do it. Because people who jump around all the time just attempting to make some money in a certain outlet are not necessarily going to be the most successful. Because as we know with all business models, which if you're building a personal brand, you're more or less building a personal brand business model, stick to your track, define that track, be awesome at that track, and it will be much more lucrative in the end instead of jumping around all over the place. So 3 steps to your personal branding: define your message, the problem that you're solving, make a little hype about that problem, and then position yourself as the solution. Pick your media outlet, make sure that your target market is on that media outlet, and that you have a defined target market and they are wanting your brand, your service, your product, whatever it is. And then pick a sure way of how to monetize that, and try not to veer away from that when it comes to falling into the hype of what everybody else is doing. So thanks again, guys, for tuning into Coffee Talk Tuesday. We're here every Tuesday at 10 a.m. on Facebook and Instagram. And make sure you let your friends know that we're going live. Make sure to like, comment, share, give us a little love, give us a little feedback, because we also like to know what you guys think, and anything that you guys want to know. I would love to do a coffee talk on, or let's just have a chat. So feel free to DM us, give us a call, stop by the office, or email us. And we hope you all have a lovely day and a great rest of your week. Enjoy it, guys, and we'll see you next week.